Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Homeward Bound, where last we left the party, you had been drinking by the river. Grimes got to bathe. William did not. When something returned to the city, you guys put on your gear, and before you can head out and head inland, you hear the sound of giant wings beating. Your gaze is instinctively drawn upward, and as you peer around the edge of a building carefully, you can see landing atop the pyramid is a large, acid-breathing black dragon that settles in on the top of the pyramid and cranes its head around, observing the things about.
Does it look like a normal dragon, or is it possessed, demonic?
The only dragons you've ever seen, Grimes, were white, snowy dragons.
True.
This thing is midnight black, and it has different form to it, but it's still a dragon, unmistakably draconic. It doesn't
Should
look
I gauge
possessed.
its length?
It's very long. It's very large. If you want specific numbers, I can give them to you.
Ooh, 24. That's not that good.
Maybe I'll kill the demons. I think we should leave.
Yeah.
Is it bigger than Frostbite?
No, actually, it's smaller. Frostbite, I think. Hold on, I gotta look up Frostbite size. But I remember Frostbite being pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a little smaller than Frostbite, actually.
Well, if we were full HP, maybe, but I don't think so. Not today.
Yeah. We run for our lives.
Where?
Upriver, away from Heatstroke.
Once you get away from the walls of these buildings, you'll be in open grasslands with no cover.
Oh, dear.
Wouldn't you be very easy to spot if you stepped away from the town?
I guess we can hide with our cloaks if that seems safer. I feel like running seems safer to me, but
We'll go at least as far as the end of the town, then.
yeah.
All right. You move inland. When you see the dragon, hear the dragon screech out to the creatures down below, which you can't see. You can't see the courtyard below the pyramid, but it calls out to the things down below.
Can I understand what it's calling?
No. Wait a minute. You do have your ring back on, right? You're no longer cleaning yourself.
Never taken it off. I don't know if I took my rings off, but anyways.
If your rings were sewn into your gloves, I figured you took your gloves off to bathe.
I think that's changed. That's what I used to do, but since we've been here, I probably got gauntlets associated with my new armor.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. And I was using the anti-magic gloves. No, I think that was a...
Well, then you do hear it if you've got your ring on. It says, "Bring it to me!"
I think the dragon's issuing commands to the demons.
Well, that is not good.
It's demanding them to bring something.
Us?
No. I stop where we are and watch. I look through the Gem of True Seeing.
The dragon appears much the same. The pyramid appears much the same. Nothing really changes through the Gem of True Seeing.
Okay.
But some minute or two later, you see a group of demonic warriors hauling up shattered pieces of the portal up the side of the pyramid.
Let's get out of here. I think we're in trouble.
I chuckle, and then well, you think it can see us if we move?
Is there a path we can take to avoid its sight?
Yeah, up until the edge of town, you can probably slink between buildings, peer around corners, wait till it's not looking, and then pop out.
Yeah.
But,
Is there a bridge that crosses the river?
There is, back towards the ocean side of town.
I think we just run for it. How well can a dragon see? How far can it see?
Then we'll be alright. We had to light that big fire to lure the ice dragons.
We've got our cloaks. Yeah, I think we just slip out of town and maybe run from cover to cover.
All right. You run from cover to cover near the riverbank, all the way to edge of town, and then you get to a point at which, like, there's a small slatted fence that runs along this field for maybe a furlong, but beyond that, it's just going to be open grasslands.
How
the fence
high
will
is
give
the
you
grass?
a little bit of cover. Oh, shin high at the most.
What's it doing, the dragon, when they bring the portal to it?
Well, you guys have been busy moving forward, getting the fuck out of here. So all you can see from your point now is the backside of the dragon. Its wings are out, sort of gently flapping, not really doing too much, just kind of easing the air back and forth. If the creatures have brought the full portal to it, or it's doing something with the portal, it would be on the other side of the body, unobservable to you.
All right. Well, if it's not looking, I think we take this opportunity to get the fuck out. Right?
Yeah. I think if we're moving casually, we're more or less invisible. So it may be safer to just creep rather than to run.
How do you know where you're going?
We head follow the river and head inland.
Okay. You can follow the river. You head inland. After a mile or so, you reach a point where the river begins to sink. Maybe not even a mile, well less than a mile. It begins to sink into a canyon. Like the ground starts to rise up and the river stays more or less at the same height, slowly gaining in elevation, but the ground is rising above it more quickly.
I'll check the tuning fork at this point.
It pings back in the direction of town, and only in the direction of town.
Ah, shit.
I think we passed it.
No, maybe they fixed the old portal and now it's drawn to that.
No. There's no way you can fix that thing. I think we passed it. If you want, we can find somewhere out here to rest, but I think we should double back.
I don't know, Grimes. They were bringing pieces of it back to the dragon. What else could it be doing?
Takes more than that to construct a magical item.
Does it?
I don't know. I'm not a wizard.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a dragon either. We should have brought a piece with us.
So you're pausing as the ground rises before you. You'd have to start climbing a hill, or you can go along the riverbank, but it seems to be slipping into canyon walls with no...
Yeah. What'll it be, William? Should we find somewhere to rest or backtrack?
I'm not tired. Okay, we can backtrack a bit, but I'm not going all the way back to the portal. I'm not going all the way back to the temple.
No. It was pointing this way initially. It just... We must have passed it? So I think I'd follow the tuning fork back along the river.
You follow it back along the river for a couple of minutes, and then the source in the town vanishes. Just abruptly. Like, it's pinging, it's going in that direction, and then it just stops.
Can we see the dragon?
Yeah, you can see it on the pyramid. It's at the very edge of your vision. It's sort of misty and hazy between you and it. You can sort of make out the wings, but it's hard.
Does the fork now point back up the other side of the river that we were going originally?
You spin about, and William, roll me a d2.
Okay. Is it 1 there?
No, it pings perpendicular, away from the river.
That's kind of what I... Okay.
So before it was in the
Do we have to
direction...
cross it, or...
Other way, no. Your side of the river, but in the opposite direction, in a perpendicular direction to the river, rather than parallel with it.
So it must be over there.
Okay.
I'm saying that
let's
it's
do that then.
shifted. The direction has shifted 90 degrees.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is the portal that we originally tracked, but something blipped in and out of existence in the town.
Yeah,
Maybe the dragon teleported some things?
something like that maybe. Let's.
In any case, I think there's a portal that way. I point
All right, let's go.
inland, whatever it is.
You head south.
Can we?
Yeah.
And as you hike, you find the ground at your feet slowly transitions from earth to sand, and you begin climbing large sand dunes. It's at this point I would like William to give me another intelligence
Check. Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I think this might be enough
26.
to piece it together for you. Yeah, you're starting to realize where the hell you are. This is the great sandy desert over in Eridon.
All right, can we see a map? Is that too much?
Yep, that's
Okay.
way too much. Because you're maybe educated, but you're a man of war, not a man of study. And
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Grimes has got the street smarts, but not the real smarts. So you guys are all sort of... I think there's a sandy place in Eridon with a big temple, maybe?
There's water here or not? Is that a complete desert?
It is a desert that will stretch on and on.
Maybe we
Cat
should
says,
walk this way.
there's a map behind Neal's head.
You know, though, maybe we should be careful about
Actually.
it. So, okay, so I say it. You know, Grimes, now that I think about it, isn't there some sort of grand pyramid temple in Eridon? In a desert? I'm sure there is.
Sounds familiar.
But if this is a desert, I say kicking the sand beneath my feet. Maybe there's no water this way. I think, is there any towns in the desert?
Probably not.
If we're fortunate, there might be one.
Maybe we should truck around the edge of the desert.
I've checked the fork again.
It is headed in this direction. Still, you just pick it back up and point it forward, and it pings forward gently,
How's
Distantly.
strong?
weakly.
The
Gotta be
weakest
pretty
we've
far
seen
out.
it ping.
Yeah.
Do you have a water skin? Can we fill
No.
a bag of holding with water?
Good idea. That is a good idea.
Maybe we rest up along the river and then pick up this trail soon.
Okay, I think that.
think?
I mean, let's see how much water we can fit in the bag. That's a good idea.
In which
All right,
bag?
let's go back.
Your
The bag of
portable
holding.
hole? Bag of holding.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head back to the river.
Yeah.
You arrive back at the river.
All right. What's in this bag, Grimes? Is there anything damaged?
There's a magic staff and 3 magic wands and 100 gemstones. Do you have anything in the bag?
Nope. Okay, magic staff. How much does it weigh, Neal?
We can't carry all this, can we? I guess we can.
I mean, I might be able to. How much does the staff weigh? 4 pounds?
I mean, I can carry the weight, but more inconvenience.
Yeah, it's gonna be about 3 pounds.
Okay.
I can take my stuff back. That's fine.
All right, and then you can leave the gems in there. Let's start. See if you can fill it with water.
So, what item is it that you're filling with water here? The bag
It's a
of holding.
bag
right?
of holding. Yeah.
Okay. How much water?
It's
are you gonna
watertight,
put
right?
into it? It is, yeah.
I think we'll just dunk. I don't know. I think it's more a logistical problem than how much, right? I think we'll dunk it underwater and open it up and like scoop it out. I think I will remove the gemstones first.
You reach in.
I have a
whatever's
regular
inside comes to your hand
backpack.
immediately.
Do I have a regular backpack? Do you have a regular backpack? I don't think I do. Equipment in pack.
Must have been lost over the time.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of gear, but it's like in pockets and stuff. Do you have a backpack or not?
No. I haven't really got any stuff. I've got a horn, a tinderbox, my weapons, and that's literally it.
All right, we'll pile up the gem. I just don't want the bag of holding to deactivate and send all of our stuff spewing everywhere.
Yeah.
So we empty it out and then dunk it underwater and hold it open and just give it a big scoop.
And we're just going to put our faith that this is enough water to get through a desert without food.
Does it work, Neal?
You open the bag of holding, water flows in, and flows in, and flows in, and flows in.
I'm not like trying to like push the capacity limit. I do like a scoop underwater. A ton probably rushes in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll like scoop it out.
So you're not like submerging it until it fills.
No, I think I submerge it once and do like a scoop out. If it were a normal bag, it would just be a bag full of water.
Right.
It's a bag of holding, so a bunch probably rushes in.
So a bunch of water rushes in, and it's still just like an empty. I mean, it's still just as full as it always has been.
And can you reach your hand in and think of water and cup out a handful of water?
A handful of water, yeah.
All right. Let's go.
All right, I'll put the gems back inside. We could probably just put everything back inside, right? I put the staff. Okay. I think you do need to carry it because it weighs 35 pounds, and that would.
It's already on. I already have it on my character sheet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I put the bag of holding on my back or my waist, I guess, and we march into the desert.
You march into the desert.
Following the tongue. Now Neal's got to calculate how much water we're going to use walking through a desert while starving.
I mean, we're never going to be more than a few days from the river, right?
Right.
Don't know about that. Oh, okay.
You will hike. And after some hours, you guys will just feel tired, exhausted, the need to sleep. You can no longer sort of slow march eternally without feeling fatigue. You get up and down a couple of sand dunes and find yourselves panting and exhausted from the effort. Every step you take forward, you slide half a step back, and you're constantly having to stabilize yourself in the shifting sands. It is a pain in the ass to climb these hills. And you begin to just get too tired to carry on and start thinking about settling down.
Is it getting towards evening? I guess there's no sun, right?
There's no sun, there's no night. It's just perpetual twilight.
Yeah, Grimes, I'm tired. Do you need to sleep?
I'm tired too, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get some rest. Should we take watches?
I'll look around. Have we seen anything living here the entire day?
Mm-mm. Just endless sand.
That's probably fine.
Ate sand.
It's better than flesh.
Gets everywhere.
Let's sleep.
All right, you guys curl on up.
Should we take watches, or are we just going to sleep?
I think we should just sleep.
Okay.
If we take watches, it's going to take an extra, 3 hours to sleep?
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Right. You sleep in the desert and awake sometime later feeling slightly refreshed. Your legs still hurt. Your muscles are still sore. You're still at 1 and 2 hit points, respectively. I guess Grimes had a full night rest after... Yeah, it's actually been about 48 hours
Is it
here,
considered... Was it considered strenuous? I'm actually like William's movement
Yeah.
speed is 9, right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually not pushing my, and I've got the scrag boots, which I think make it easier to walk
Ooh,
on
if you have
sand.
scrag boots, you won't be sinking into the sand at all. So you can
Yeah.
regain HP. I don't think William can. I think the
No, but
trudge up the sandy.
Have my scrag boots not like melded with my body?
They certainly
me.
have and become non-magical stone.
Ah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So William will not regain hit points. He will be at 1 until you can find a place to rest and food for him to eat. Grimes, you can regain HP because you're moving at a slower pace and your scrag boots allow you to just walk over the sand as easy as if it was hard-packed earth. And the slower rate means going uphill doesn't really bother you that much. So day 1, you travel south. Day 2, you continue to travel south. And that's when William's tummy begins to rumble. Granted, you haven't eaten in a year, 2 years, 6 months. You haven't eaten in a long time. But your belly gurgles at you.
I try and ignore it and keep walking.
Yeah, we can. Water's the bigger concern. We can survive without food for
Is the
while.
the tongue becoming stronger, or is it still?
It's still pretty faint.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Let's give it another day. If it doesn't seem to improve, maybe we should turn around.
Why?
Wait.
Go where?
Do we want to get lost in a desert? I'd rather stick near the river.
This is the direction we're going. I mean,
We eventually need to find something to hunt. There's no sign of life out here.
So
yeah, that's true.
at some point while you're walking, you'll be using the forked tongue, the tuning fork, to find your direction. And at some point in time, you're gonna try and check all the areas around you. And you will get your weak signature in the direction you're headed, and you'll get a weak signature about 90 degrees off from where you're headed as well. It appears that there are 2 signatures.
Shit. Both
Is the other one back
possible.
towards Heatstroke, or is it a different
It's
direction?
Different direction. It's more in the direction of the original one that you were following.
Okay, so one is straight ahead, and now one is off to our right. One is south,
Yes.
and one is east.
Yes.
Well, your choice, William.
Wait, one's south. Oh, fucking hell. Well, one's a shadow dragon and one's in a mountain range on the other side of the world, so, I mean... neither are great options, to be honest.
One is a shadow dragon, and one is a mountain on the other side of the world. I don't even... You
we
know
don't
way
know.
more than I do.
We don't know that. I mean, I'm of a mind
Are those
to
the
keep
only
following them.
portals in the whole world?
Maybe. The only portals in the shadow plane, probably.
There's no more
I
ninth
mean-
level dimensionalists to crawl down into the pits of hell and drag us back.
Is there no discernible difference in the strength?
No. I don't think so. Maybe if you had a wizard or a cleric, they would be able to notice something that the 2 of you don't. You know, you guys aren't particularly magically attuned.
Okay, so... I think to the shape of this desert on a map. You'll grant me that, at least.
Sure, whatever. You can do.
Which direction do I feel like it's going to get us out of the desert quicker? Going south the way we've been going, or if I turn back to follow the
Who
other...
knows? Like, you're in the middle of a desert right now. It could be, at this point, any direction could be the longest direction. It really depends on your exact location. It might be the longest way to head back north, or maybe to go south, or maybe east or west. Who knows? You have no idea where you are. Now, you don't really have a lot of tools to make the decisions you need to make right now. So in a sense, it doesn't really matter what decision you make, right?
Alright, hang on. Alright, we switch. Go the perpendicular one. Alright, let's change direction, Grimes.
All right.
I've had a vision.
I
We're going
think
that way.
I assume that's closer to the river and stuff, so that's kind of where Grimes was imagining. And it's been 3 days. I'm like, we should turn around. Okay, there's another signal over there. I think we can get back to the river.
Okay.
So we turn right, head
Mhm.
probably west.
Yep. And by the end of the day, which, there's no sun changing, so by the time you're getting exhausted enough that you need to call it a rest, which I imagine two badass warriors, neither one wants to be the first person to say, let's take a rest. I know when I go hiking with my friends, I'm never the first person to say,
I don't think so. I think Grimes is watching William and trying to gauge when William needs a rest, and then Grimes is like, I think we should rest. I'm getting tired.
That's kind of That's nice.
Because I'm moving at 3/4 movement rate. I've got these magic boots. Grimes probably, and I'm possessed by the stupid demon. Grimes probably isn't gonna mechanically get tired himself.
Those scrag boots they size to fit us, right? Maybe you could give them to me. Maybe they'd fit with my feet.
You got stone feet, William. Would that work?
It might work.
You can try.
We try and camp that night.
It does not work.
Don't break my boots.
No, fine. It doesn't work. Okay, we rest and we keep going. I mean, in lieu of anything other new information, like what else do? We just keep walking. We keep an eye out for any sign of life. Like if I see anything moving that doesn't look like it's a demon, I'm gonna kill it.
Well, you reach the end of the desert. Shortly thereafter, you start walking through the grasslands.
I gain another HP?
You gain another HP.
4.
Yep. You start walking.
And we reach the end of the desert.
You do. You hit the grass.
What's the end of the desert?
Just grasslands, knee high.
The river's got to be a little further.
Are all the same. Grasses look just alike, and as the wind blows through them, you get instead of that really beautiful pattern of rippling grass as the wind blows through, it's more of waves of movement of the grass.
I have
strange patterning.
I do have set snares, I believe. Don't I? Let's see. I thought I did. I swear I got that proficiency.
Yeah, you were definitely setting snares at one point.
Yeah,
right?
I've got too many damn proficiencies that I ran out of space. I'm positive I have set snares, though. So, I don't think that enables me to... And I should be able to tell enough about game trails to know where to put them, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I'm not exactly a tracker, but I can look around and be like, are there gophers in these grasslands, kind of thing?
There are not.
So when we make camp the end of that trudge, I would like to try and set snares. I don't have any rope really other than the scraps that are hanging around. Using the grasses to weave a little lizard trap or something.
Sure, you could weave together a makeshift trap rope or whatever. But you'll look around and you'll get the distinct impression that there are no gophers here. There are no game trails here. There's no changing of the earth beneath your feet, really. It's sort of just flat and even and the same. The grass is the same. There's no gopher holes.
Is it the same kind of... Is it laziness, like the village was? It was put together by a dungeon master copying the same stamp over and over again?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a repetitive sameness throughout. That book, The Giver? You ever read The Giver? It's that same sameness throughout everything.
Tried that, yeah, it didn't work.
Now it's in focus. It's auto-focusing.
Yeah, I don't know how to change it.
You usually you can move and get it to catch you again or something.
Okay, well I'll just keep doing this, you guys.
The lens might be smudged. Give it a wipe down.
There we go. Fixed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Well, you rest. Your snares return no creatures. And you push across the grasslands, and you, Ryan, begin to hear William's stomach grumbling, even through his armor and padding and clothing. Which has a bit of a stench to it now.
Yeah, maybe I'll take if we camp by the river, maybe I'll take a wash that night.
Do we find the river again?
Nope. You've got plenty of water, and you can hike for, I think, 4 more days through the open emptiness, drinking your water.
Is Grimes not getting hungry?
No, Grimes, you're not really hungry at all.
Okay, so hang on.
William...
After a few days, I'll say something like, Grimes, I'm starting to feel pretty hungry.
There's no. Yeah. Is Grimes gonna make the connection that it's related to that demon? Like, can I feel that it is sustaining me, or just no idea?
You don't feel it within you. You sort of just feel like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you might be able to make that connection. In the demon plane, you weren't hungry, and now this demonic thing entered you, and your partner's hungry, but you're not. That's not.
Does it seem like an
too much of a
intelligence
stretch.
check or a wisdom?
Interwiz, your choice.
No. All right. I'll just assume that. I mean, he was beaten closer to death than me. He's healing more. How many more days has it been? Am I?
You can gain 3 more HP.
Okay. There's no sign of life. I don't know what we're gonna eat.
Are you not? This grass, maybe we could boil it.
We don't have a cook pot. Boiled grass. Don't know.
Are we still in the desert, or are we in grassland now?
Grasslands. Yep.
Is there any trees or anything like that?
Nope. Just grass. On and on and on and on. No roads, no trails, no trees, no hills, no towns, no villages.
We'll run into something eventually. Let's keep going.
I nod.
Okay.
Stay strong, William. It'll be weeks before we starve to death. We've got water.
Well,
Thanks, Grimes.
you can do 3 weeks without food, but I think that's pretty low activity 3 weeks without food.
Yeah.
So, as we round out the end of the week here, Grimes should be at like 9 HP now, I think.
Sure. Do we not reach the edge of the grassland?
You do. You will reach a river that you will run perpendicularly into. And William is growing faint from hunger. His movement speed has dropped. His strength is leaving him.
Is there, can I find anything in the river?
You know, Grimes, I've been thinking, when you filled the bag up with hot water, maybe you caught some fish in there. I've just been thinking about it. I open the bag and think of fish.
I want to look in the river to see if I can find any fish.
The river is a canyon that drops like 150 feet down.
I think of fish and reach into the bag of holding.
You get no fish.
God damn it. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try and make a cooking pot here.
Out of
What are you gonna cook?
Grass.
You're gonna make a
Leather.
pot out of grass?
No, I'm
Madness
gonna
is
cook
setting in.
grass.
Like boiling leather, it doesn't actually help you. It just makes it feel like you're eating.
Really?
You can't live off. No, there's no calories in leather.
What a rope. What the? What are we gonna do? Can I not keep walking?
You can, but your pace is slowing. And in the back of your mind is a little voice. If I don't get food, I'm going to die of starvation.
Grimes is recovering HP.
He's
It's
getting
gonna be hard as
stronger by
kill.
the day. God, look at him. Like, you can see him healing, and he's just handsome looking. Like, his beard is grown in well. It's, like, automatically trimmed somehow. It's still it's not all scraggly.
Let's keep pushing. There's got to be something to eat, right?
There has to be. Follow the river. We might find a town.
Where does the fork point at this now?
It points sort of eastward, the direction you're heading, and if you whirl about, it also sort of points southward as well. One of these two places.
Is it now stronger in the direction we're going after a week?
Not really.
This plane sucks worse than the demon plane.
I'm thinking about Faris right now. Some of those things he was eating sound real good.
Yeah, I don't know if we will talk about it, but yeah, we'll see. We'll keep pushing, I guess.
All right.
I mean, I know
you're at a canyon, right? The river is perpendicular to you now, and it's like 180-foot drop. So,
is there a way to cross the canyon?
Not within sight, but you could go right, or you could go left.
I can
Isn't right the canyon? Oh, I think south, right? That's
South
following the river.
Turn. Yeah.
Or following back up the river or something.
I feel a strange disturbance in the force, like some significant events happened here. And I turn left.
Right. You go left along the canyon edge until you come across a tree. The first tree.
Okay.
It's there.
This is a tree. All right. Grimes, there might be something to eat on this tree.
It's
got
rush
bark
into the forest
and
looking for
leaves
apples
and twigs and branches and roots.
Are there any fruit trees in here? Berry bushes?
Not of this first tree that you see. It's just a regular tree, like a spruce.
If only we had Ferris. He'd know how to eat all of this. I think leaving William behind, Grimes goes right. Yeah. Is it a whole copse of trees or just one tree?
It's just one tree for now.
I collapse to the base of the tree and start.
Right, and you hurry over to the tree, and by the time you get to the tree, you can see more in the distance.
Rest in the shade, William. I'll be back with food. And I go running ahead to see if I can find more trees.
I dig around the soil at the base of the tree and start looking for like insects or anything.
There are no insects. Now you think about it, you haven't seen a single insect the entire time you're here. And it's hard to go even minutes without seeing insects in the real world, at least before the introduction of pesticides.
It's not making me feel good. Is there any leaves on the ground here?
Nope, they're just in the tree.
Can I reach any?
Give me a strength check. But you have gone a week without food, so reduce your strength by 30%. So instead of 18 times 0.7.
I reach. Wait, with my
12.
sword though, I can chop down a branch.
Oh yeah, with your sword you can like hack a branch off. Perfect.
Okay, I sit down beneath the tree and start pulling off leaves and like chewing them.
You can actually eat spruce tips. There's not going to be much calories in there.
I don't know if you're going to be able to survive.
Are there cones?
I don't do spruce's cone.
Yeah, right. We should be able to eat the seeds, right?
Yeah, you'll see pine cones on a spruce. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get.
Really. Go ahead.
You can eat the pine nuts, pine seeds. It's gonna be slim pickings, but.
I mean, I don't know. I'm literally sat there in a daze, just like chewing leaves, like chewing them for like 5 minutes until I'm like, swallowing it.
They are gross.
Go back.
They're sappy in your mouth. They have a terrible flavor.
I don't know, Neal. It tastes pretty fucking great to me.
Meanwhile, Grimes runs ahead to the next copse of trees, and you see a bunch of spruces.
I go looking around, looking for any signs of animals or berries, fungus.
There are no fungus. There are no berries. There are no animals. Not a squirrel, not a bird, not a mouse, not a hedgehog.
All right, I gather fucking pine cones and spruce tips and whatever else I can find over the course of a couple hours and go back to William.
You bring it back to William. He's there lying on the ground, chewing on pine needles, green running down his face. He's gonna be puking soon. It's too much chlorophyll in his body.
Stop, William. I'll get a fire started. William's tinderbox.
Yes.
It produces no heat, no light.
Really?
It
does
reacts.
it burn? Can I start a fire?
Yes, you can.
Can
do you
I
have, wait,
attempt
what do you have to start with fire with, actually?
It's William's tinderbox.
You still have a tinderbox, William?
I did. It's right there. Tinderbox, 1 pound.
Oh my god. All right, you can do it. You can do it. You can start it, but it produces no perceptible light or heat, really.
What if I try and put a pine cone? I try and bake a pine cone on it? Or a whole bunch of pine cones on it and get them to like burst open and eat some roasted pine nuts.
You can hear them cracking, but you don't really feel the heat of the fire very much. And you don't really, like, you can see the flames, but they're not really shedding light. They're just like a different color of flicker before you.
We can roast some pine nuts to give William some nibbles.
Start breaking open these cones, looking for the nuts within, and your heart sinks. Cone after cone. There should be nuts here. There's not. This lifeless void of a plain has no seeds in any of the cones. No birds, no insects, no berries.
Oh my god.
It is the impression of a living world, but not actually a living world.
All right. So, if you were to saw off a piece of your own flesh, where do you think the most convenient place to
we can't do that, right? Surely.
From forearm, thigh?
Is it really going to come to this?
To stay functional, but
belly?
Still get a good belly?
Well,
no.
Hey, you get so you sort
fat
of
there, right?
You're recovering 1 HP a day, so as long as we do like only a couple of damage, you'll be fine.
But
right?
you still need to be able to walk.
There's no wound system in D&D, so we should be good. We just do 1 HP worth of food a day.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't quite work out that way, but you can, if you would like, you may auto-cannibalize.
No, I'm not doing it until I can't walk anymore. If we can, I eat some leaves, I feel better. Like, I might not actually be better, but I feel a little bit better. So we'll go to sleep for the night here, if this is the end of the day. Or is it not? We got more time?
It's a good of a place as any to rest, gorging yourself on pine cones.
All right, let's, so we'll sleep. Maybe you should keep watch, Grimes, in case there's any...
Yeah, Grimes doesn't sleep. He sits there staring at his forearm, knife in hand, wondering if he should do it. Looking sadly over at the pile of pine cones. In the morning, how's William?
Hungry. So hungry. So very hungry.
I get up.
There's nothing here.
You head southward still, following the edge of the river.
The forest.
There's a bigger forest now. You see tree after tree, and then you start passing trees that you swear you've passed before. You see rocks jutting out of the ground, and they're the same rocks. You start wondering if you're walking in circles, but the river changes shape.
God built this place.
What? Yeah, I keep walking. I think I mumble a few responses to what you're saying, but...
Grimes shouts, "Is there no one out there? Is there nothing?"
I swing my sword around. What's that, Grimes? I'll kill it.
There's nothing.
Another HP for Grimes, and you reach the end of the woods before you use more
10 or
grassland.
11. Added one from the night under the tree.
Should be 11.
Is this another night in the woods? Yeah.
The grassland continues for just a few miles when you see a road and a bridge.
There's a bridge. Is there a town?
Bridge spans the canyon. And on the other side of the canyon, you see buildings.
Grimes breaks out into a run, leaving William behind.
You try and keep pace.
It's a village. Buildings.
Bolt over the village. You enter into the town. From door to door, it's empty, completely barren. The same buildings dot the town all over the place. There's a keep in the middle of town made of stone, and as you make your way there, you come across a large pit in the ground. Just a perfectly even depression, maybe 200 feet wide, perfectly symmetrical. Buildings missing. The road is like kind of just runs into the pit and then vanishes. It looks like there's just an ice cream scoop out of the town.
Super weird. But I'm going for the pantries, for the maybe eventually for the keep. Going from building to building, looking for food, for rations, barrels of ale.
You will get the impression that each of these buildings has sort of the stuff a house would have, but none of the small stuff. Like, there's a bed, and there might be, like, a table with some chairs, but the small details, like the forks and the knives and the chopsticks and the bowls and the cups and the pantries are just missing. It's only, like, the roughest outline of what a society would have. Like, someone was asked, what's in a building, and had 10 seconds to respond, and so they said, I don't know, a bed and table and a dinner table and a window, and there's a fireplace.
One of them had to respond, a keg of ale.
I stumble into the town having lost Grimes. Yeah. And
I'm going from building to building. I think eventually to the keep. But yeah.
You make your way to the stone keep.
I see if I can see a temple in town and stumble into it and collapse in the center of it if there is one.
There is a temple in town.
Alright, I see if... Is it one of those with the shrines all around the edge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I stumble to the Madrigal shrine and just collapse in front of it.
You know where the Madrigal shrine should be. There's a statue of a woman here, but the features are sort of lost. She kind of looks like all the other statues around you. Maybe this one's got, like, slightly bigger hips or something, but it's just another faceless carbon copy of a statue.
I think I mumble a prayer, but not really, and kind of probably just pass out.
Alright, Grimes.
I go to the keep.
Beyond the town, as you get to the keep, you see to your left, to the south, to the same direction the river is flowing, are hills. Rolling hills. You can get to the keep. It's got a wooden door in front that is shut. Some sort of metal binds the door together. The walls are well made and even with no wear or tear or cracks, but also, not so smooth that you couldn't climb it. Pretty easily scale this thing, you think.
Can I go in the front door?
The front door is... Yeah, you give a tug on the front door and it just opens. There's room on the back for it to be barred, and there is a bar to be put across it, but it's not barred. It opens into a really empty hallway. No rugs, no sconces, no torches, nothing mounted. No telling whose keep this is. Just an empty, abandoned castle. Like someone finished the groundwork and then just forgot to fill it with people and details. Like forgot to put stuff in it.
Well, I spend half an hour pillaging it, going from room to room. I go to the basement where the pantry ought to be, or go to the kitchen.
It's there. The kitchen's there. It's empty.
No food, no valuables.
No food.
No signs of life.
Valuables, no signs of life. You have wandered
Not gonna
away
roll anything.
From all...
Is there any
Nope.
chance that I can find anything?
Nope.
All right, I think I eventually make my way back to the make my way to the temple.
Yeah, you
probably an
can
hour
wander
or two
around.
later.
You can call out until you find William.
I walk into the temple and find him passed out in front of Madrigal. I look around. Do any of the gods look like gods?
Not really. Their details are all lost. You recognize, what would be Bellum and what would be Velthara and what would be Jexel. Bellum's got some sort of weapon in hand, but it's sort of like not quite finished being made. They're all in the right places, but the names are faded, the texts are gone.
Grimes shouts out, "What is this place?
What?
Curse you! And I reach into, I think around my neck it is, and tear off the holy symbol of Velfara and cast it on the ground in front of her statue.
It clangs on the ground. As you turn your back to her, you see standing in the doorway to the temple are 3 of those shadowy shapes. Not
Meat's
moving,
back on the menu, boys.
not attacking you, just lurking on the edges, watching you.
I stumble to my feet. Draw my sword.
One of them reaches out, beckons.
To Grimes or to William?
Same thing?
What are you? Grimes says, taking a few steps towards them, hand on hilt.
Doesn't say anything.
William, come here.
Draw my sword.
Grimes takes his hand off a sword and puts a hand out to William. Just...
Alright, I mean, I stumble forward.
Just, go with it, William. I think it's the only way.
I look back at Grimes. Look back to the shadow demons.
I'm there beside you. Do the demons come forward, lunge forward, or are they standing in the doorway?
They wait, and one of them beckons.
Grimes starts walking towards them.
Okay,
Hands
I keep
in hand
pace.
with William.
I didn't know if William took his hand, but...
William, take his hand.
No, I've got my sword.
You've got 2 hands, though, right?
Shield the sword.
Okay.
I stumble forward. I probably can't walk straight too much and have to keep stumbling and put my arm on Grimes as I go towards them.
They wait for you to walk to the doorway, and then one of them, just one of them, walks up to William. Reaches out for your face. Touches you. It crawls onto you. It forces open your mouth. I don't know if you're even resisting at this point. And it crawls inside of you. And I think that is where we will end our session for the day. That's it for Homeward Bound today. We're both demonized after
I held out for so long.
12 episodes? 13 episodes?
Yeah.
How long has this been?
This was 12, right?
This is 12, yeah.
Yeah.
12 episodes of not eating any demons.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Any final words before we head out for the night?
XP?
Yeah, we didn't get XP last episode either.
I mean, yeah, we've made it
Are
back here.
either
We
of
should
you
get something.
remotely close to leveling?
It depends what you mean by remotely.
I'm about 200k away.
170k.
We'll, if you survive, if you get back to the prime material plane, we'll just level you then. Like, just jump to the next level, whatever it is. There's no way you're going to get 200,000. Because the demons on this plane are, like, way easier and give way less XP. So.
We didn't get XP last session, though.
Yeah, but you're not going to end up getting 400,000 experience for the former demons. So, I mean, I could total up if you really want. I can total it, but like,
I mean, how much are demons worth? Grimes killed a lot of demons. Like, how much are the warriors worth?
2,500 on their home plane.
It's more probably the XP for making it to this plane.
Yeah, like
we got a lot for making it to the last portal, but it doesn't matter. We're probably not
You'll
going to
get a full level when you reach home. if you reach home.
Okay.
All right.
All
Good stuff.
All right, guys.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This might be the most desperate and hopeless episode we've had yet.
Yeah.
Somewhat ironically, right? We finally get back to the shadow of our home plane, and it's even more depressing than the demon world.
Say what you want
can't
about
swing
those
a sword.
demons, but they gave you something to work with.
Yeah.
They gave you a direction. And
Well,
now here,
now that we're
it's
possessed,
just-
we won't need to eat, right? We can just
Casual stroll.
trudge endlessly again.
Getting kill the shadow dragon. Maybe we should start going south. No, not really.
Well, with that, we will end our session, and we will plan our next hobo, which will probably happen in May, early May, probably.
End of May or something,
Maybe end of April. I don't know. We've got our Hardcore Heroes Q&A next week, which I think is just Sean and Nick.
Yeah.
And then
Nothing.
either the maybe the end of this month or maybe the beginning of next month, we'll do another hobo. So 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
26th or the 3rd. Okay.
Yeah, 26th to the 3rd. Assuming we're all still in quarantine and can still do everything.
Yeah.
All right. That's it, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.